Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Double Wicket Maiden. Today, Zoha and I will be talking about a few important things that have been going on in the world of Pakistan cricket. As you all know, the PSL draft just happened, so we'll be talking about the teams that have been assembled and giving our own very objective, also very subjective opinions on how they're faring so far. We'll also be talking about the retirement of Azhar Ali, which was just recently announced. And I guess we can start with that. Zoha, your thoughts?
Honestly, I wasn't checking my phone for a long time, and I randomly I started getting notifications from ESPN Cricket Info, and I was like, wait, what's happening? And then I saw Azhar Ali is retired, and I'm not joking. For a second, I couldn't believe what I was reading. Oh, then it was one of those moments that you in at the back of your brain you know it's coming, but you don't want to see it. तो वो वाला था, and I mean Azhar Ali, he was one of the first batsmen that I fell in love with because I started watching Test cricket when Misbah and Yunus Khan were on the rear end of their career, right? वो बिल्कुल retire हो रहे थे, and at that time I'm not kidding, I used to just watch Azhar Ali bat, और फिर वो I used to shut off the TV after he got out because I enjoyed his batting, और उसके अलावा I had no interest in Test cricket. So it's one of those, I feel very personally, personally lost. कि अब क्या? I mean, we have a lot of backlog with batters on our bench as well. So I don't think उस तरह से इतना tactically वो होगा कि क्या करना है. But the kind of experience that Azhar Ali brought to the side, and his overall presence, if anyone saw Babar's press conference, he said that Azhar Bhai was such a positive, vibe. He brought such a positive vibe to the dressing room, and he had such a big influence on, the younger lot, and we've all learned so much from him. So I think that is irreplaceable for me, and I'm still thinking about it. I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm very sad about it. Honestly, I don't know what to say about it. Iman, I know you're a huge Azhar Ali fan, so I'll let it, go to you, and maybe you can give him a better farewell message than I did, because I'm stumbling over my words right now.
No, I completely get you. Honestly, I saw on my TL that the PCB shared a link to his press conference, and I was kind of confused because Imam had already done one, and I was like, why is Azhar here?
Yeah,
And I clicked on it, and
yeah.
he sounded really emotional, and he was just announcing his retirement, and I was
Oh,
shocked. Like, I and you know, when he was crying, honestly, I cried. Like, I'll admit it. Maybe it's the hormones, but I
yeah,
did cry. Azhar Ali has been our rock for, God, how long has it been? What year is it? 12 years? 12 and a half years?
yeah.
He's had some brilliant, brilliant knocks. He's seen us through our all-time highs in Test cricket to our all-time lows in Test cricket. Um, and even now, as horrible as this year has been for us in Test cricket overall, with the losing the series that we should have won against Australia, now losing this England series as well, and then tying that Sri Lanka series that we should have arguably won as well. But we're at a good point, and Test cricket is back home. And Azhar played when Test cricket was not at home. Most of his career was spent scoring
Yeah,
hundreds away, never at home. UAE, fine, you can argue that was home. It wasn't though. And then he
yeah,
peaked from, I think, 2017, 2014, 2017, and then he had his decline, and then he showed up again in 2020, and
yeah.
he's done a lot for us. He's had some brilliant, like, I think of that knock versus Sri Lanka on the last day, in the last session, him bringing it home with Misbah, um,
And
his 300 in Australia,
oh yeah.
it's Azhar, man. Like, we lost Asad Shafiq, we lost Misbah, we lost Yunus. It hurt every single time. But this one hurts a little bit more because
Mm-hmm.
he was the last man standing from that era. And for people like you and me who lived through that era and really cherished Test cricket at that time, it feels weird. It feels really, really weird. And honestly, I know
Yeah.
you said we have a backlog of batters, but at this point, I don't think we have the number three that we need. I mean, Ryan, who's critic too, has been like touting this Abdullah Shafiq at 3 agenda, which I agree with. I think Abdullah would make an excellent number 3. But that being said, Abdullah also is quite fresh, and we
Yeah.
don't have an opening spot cleared up just yet. Sean isn't exactly that young. Imam isn't is I don't know how he's gonna do in South Africa and Australia next year. So we've got our top order issues, and to have to think that Azhar won't be with us after this test, assuming he plays, it feels weird. We will feel the gaping hole of Azhar Ali for at least a
Yeah.
year, I think. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, also today, like in the press conference, Azhar Ali was saying that in his head, he also had this, he had planned his retirement ke shayad 100 tests ho jaye because of the games
yeah,
that he had in this cycle. But then, he got injured and he had to be dropped. And I mean, there was so much heartbreak in his voice, and there was so much heartbreak. Like, video, I watched it after, I didn't watch it live, and I had already gone through the timeline, so I was already sad. And then I watched the press conference, and Azhar Ali was on the verge of tears. I was on the verge of tears. The entire timeline was on the verge of tears. And I mean, it's. I was just talking to my father about it. I said that the last time I felt कि इतना बड़ा टेस्ट क्रिकेट को पाकिस्तान को लॉस है, that was when Misbah and Yunus retired together, and that was two batsmen retiring together. And right now I feel like, I mean, obviously Azhar Ali is not Misbah, but Azhar Ali did become that, symbol of our, like you said, us era ka, jab we were test number 1, we got the mace. And Azhar Ali became that symbol for a lot of us, especially all of us, like you said, जिन्होंने cricket उस time पर ज़्यादा देखी है. And exactly, another thing that I just thought of is like, he said that Azhar Ali in the press conference, he was saying that I at one point thought that I'd never get to play a cricket, a test match at home, and then he did, and then he got to 100. And I mean, all these moments, the return of test cricket, it's, I mean, you can't take Azhar Ali away from the history of Test cricket in Pakistan, whether we were playing away, whether we were playing at home. And I think it's just, I mean, like he said, everything comes to an end. But for it to come to an end at this point, especially when all of us are really, really depressed with the kind of Test cricket that's happening right now. I mean, just series, like you said, the series that we lost against Australia, and then right now, I mean, we want some good moments to happen, and Azhar Ali retiring amidst that is just, now I really just hope that he gets to 100, or like a really brilliant knock in the Karachi test that he hopefully gets to play. That will be his last one. I really want to see a big Azhar Ali moment, because he said that he wants to go out with a high, and now I really want that too. I don't know what else to say about this.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I think that with Imam's injury, they will be. I mean, unless they play both Shan and Herrera in the top 3 with Abdullah, which I don't think they will. I think it's more likely that Shan's going to
No.
come in and Azhar's going to be at 3 one last time, which is fitting.
Yeah.
If there is any justice in this world, and I don't think there is because of the way 2022 has been, Azhar will do well this test. Please God,
Yeah.
we need that. He needs that. He deserves it. He does. It's been a tough year.
Yeah.
And it's been a tough career for Azhar Ali. He hasn't had it easy.
Yeah.
It's a testament to how resilient and how good and how dedicated and how hardworking he is that he has the record that he has. It's not easy to bat this long. It's not easy to keep up that record, and then he has somehow, because he's Azhar Ali. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm very sad, honestly. I had thought of all the things that, like, right before we started recording, I thought of, like, I'll say this about his that innings, but abhi my mind has gone, like, it's gone blank. I don't know what to say. I'm just so sad.
Yeah,
And
no, I get
there's so
you.
many great moments. Yeah, there's so many great moments in his career, and all of them are getting jumbled up in my head. And I'm just like, no, man, no way, this is his last time. It's just very sad.
Yeah.
I think we should move on. I think we should move on to the PSL draft. we're very swiftly moving on from Test cricket. We don't want to talk about it right now. Clearly, we're too sad. So let's just talk about the PSL draft. Iman, do you want to go team by team? Which team do you want to do first?
Either we should start
Okay.
with Lahore or we should end with Lahore. So that's your call to make. What do you want to do?
Okay. I think let's end with Lahore.
ठीक है. Let's start maybe with Islamabad. They had some interesting picks.
Yes. Islamabad, I think, I mean, as usual, I think very typical Islamabad United draft. They made some very obvious choices. Alex Hales, Gurbaz. I think again, like last year, their bowling is a tad bit concerning to me. But I do think it will wahi hoga that they, you know, bat the opposition out unless they're playing against Lahore Qalandar, and then they, you know, fail to score even the slightest of runs in the last over to our emerging player. But other than that, I think unki yahi strategy hai, bat out the opposition. And I think from their draft, that's what they seem to be doing this year too. I mean, Alex Hales, Gurbaz on the top, Monroe, and then Paul Sterling, same as last year. I think they'll be banking on Zishan Zamir and Ruman Reis this year because Zishan got injured last year. So probably they're gonna be thinking that, you know, he pulls them through the bowling issues. And Ruman Reis, I think they were really emotional and very, very happy to have him back in the squad because Rehanul Haq was just, you know, going on about how much they were sad to lose him last year in this draft. So I think Ruman Reis getting back there, Fahim Ashraf, Hassan Ali, Zishan Zamir, that's their I think pace attack. Concerning, but I guess they have Moeen Ali too, so I think they're gonna be banking a little bit on their spin as well. But I'm not too sure, honestly, about their bowling attack. What about you, Iman?
I quite like Farooqi. I think he was a good pick.
Yeah.
I will say though, I think you're absolutely right. They're banking on their batting once again, and it's not a terrible route to go. By the all rounders that they've picked are phenomenal. So you've got Shadab,
Yeah.
Moeen Ali, you've got Fahim. So I mean they're pretty well set there. You can expect every single person, as always with Islamabad United, to keep batting till the end of the
Yeah.
game. I think them picking Sohaib Maqsood was interesting. He hasn't had the best of form, but it's sweet. Sohaib Maqsood at his prime was very Islamabad United, so hopefully they're hoping
Yeah.
that what I think they're hoping is that he'll kind of reignite like Islamabad United's presence in his heart will reignite the batting as well. So I think picking Roman Reis was a really sweet gesture as well. Zishan as well. I think
Yeah.
that's really nice. I don't know if he's fully fit yet. I don't know if he will be for PSL either.
Yeah.
But he's young. He's coming into himself. So I think it's nice that they're backing him. Very, very wholesome picks from them. I am concerned
Also-
with the velocity of top order picks. I wish they let another franchise cough Lahore Qalandars get Gurbaz. But I get it. They want backups, so I get it.
Oh, I forgot to mention Abrar. They also picked Abrar.
Oh yeah.
I
I don't know if
mean,
he'll play though, but it's a nice pick.
Yeah. I was about to say, I don't know how they'll play him with Shadab, but if there's one franchise that you can trust to groom young players, and like, I think they'll take good care of him, so I'm happy for Abrar. Also, Iman, you forgot that they also have the best pace spinner in our country, Wasim Jr., of course. No better all-rounder than him in the entire country.
Oh.
No, I'm just joking. I love Wasim Jr. as a bowler. I don't think he's an all-rounder. So I do want to, if I don't know if anyone's watching from Islamabad United, but if you are, please don't do what you did last year and send him like on 4 or 5. Let him bowl. Let him become a bowler, and then he can become a all-rounder later in his career. Please don't do this to him. That's the only concern I have with the Islamabad United draft. Baki, I love their squad. I love their strategy. I love how they, back their young players. That's the one thing that, other than Lahore Qalandars, I think Islamabad United does really well too. They always, Shadab Khan ko unhone captain banaya. they've been, they've given Azam Khan so much agency over his batting. So I really like it. Like I said, I'm glad that Abrar went there too. And yeah, like you said, I don't know if they'll play Zishan Zamir, but I'm glad that he's over there as well. Taki, he has that cushion to, even if he's not playing, to learn from bowlers like Hassan Ali, for example, who also has had a lot of injury troubles in his career. So, and even Ruman Reis now. So yeah, I think I'm glad. I'm happy with their draft. I don't have any complaints. Do you want to go to Peshawar Zalmi next?
Yes, let's do Peshawar.
Okay. Your thoughts, Iman?
Wait, sorry, I lost you.
I was just saying, what are your thoughts on Peshawar Zalmi's draft?
Oh yeah, so I was pretty excited to see what they would do because obviously Babar's gone to Peshawar, and then that's what the big news was before the draft. And honestly, I was quite happy, surprised as well, but mostly happy with their picks. I think that batting lineup that they've put together is really something. I'm really excited to see Babar open the batting for them, and Haris maybe at 3, and then that lower middle order is phenomenal. I love Rajapaksa. I think Paul's gonna be amazing for them. I think Danish Aziz is an interesting pick. Maybe one of the ones that I'm not too thrilled about, but also he's had a good record as of late-ish. I guess they're trying. They're giving it a shot there. It's a local pick. It's a good pick. I will say that their bowling attack leaves a lot to be desired. They also maybe they're being Islamabad United types here in that they're like batting, and then not so much about their bowling.
Yeah.
I think any team that relies heavily on Wahab Riaz at this age in big old 2022 and 2023 when the actual Pesa is going to happen is a team that you're going to be like, okay, well, your bowling's kind of lackluster. But yeah, I was actually hoping that they would pick up like a young pacer, but like for someone from abroad maybe, but they didn't. But yeah, like I was pretty impressed with especially the first few picks. I was like, wow, like they're here with a mission. They wanna get those big hitters in there.
Yeah, I mean, Rajapaksa I thought was a brilliant pick. Like when they announced it, I was like, good on you to do this. At the same time, like I was about to say that they don't have that much of a pace battery. Matlab, Wahab Riaz leading the pack, I'm not too sure. I think their platinum pick, the supplementary pick was good. Jimmy Neesham, I think they're gonna, bank on him to help with the bat, with the ball, wherever he can. I think वहाँ पे उन्होंने थोड़ा cover करने की कोशिश कर ली है. Then I think I'm not too sure about their spin department as well, because Usman Kadir will be leading the attack. And last year they had Abrar Ahmed as cover for that, but now I'm not too sure who's covering if, God forbid, Usman Kadir doesn't, show up. So yeah, but other than that, I think they do have Mujibur Rahman. I'm sorry, they are covered. I think they did very well now that I think about it.
Mujib is a good pick, but yeah, no, like he is concerning.
Yeah. I think they did try to cover all their bases though, so I'm not really concerned about any of their, कि यहाँ पे तो बहुत ज़्यादा lag करें, other than like obviously the pace वाली बात हमने कर ली है. I do think again इनका top order का we did talk about it briefly. If Haris, Saim and Babar are all playing, who's coming at number 3? But I think that's a minor issue. They'll probably sort it out. So I don't have like I don't see a very glaring issue. They did well overall. I think पूरी sort of team rebuild उन्होंने बाबर के around की है. तो considering that they had to do that, I think they were pretty okay. And I don't mind that strategy either. If they know that Babar is the kind of player that Babar is, if you're having to build your team around him, I don't think that is, too bad a idea.
Yeah,
I think I don't have too many
for them, actually.
Thoughts about. Yeah, I think उनकी main strategy यही थी to build a team around Babar, and if that was their goal, I think they did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about
Okay,
Multan
do we
next?
go on? Yeah, I was about to say, do you want to talk about Multan?
Awesome. Okay, then let's talk about Multan. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I think they have the same core as last year. I think other than Peshawar, all the and Karachi, जिनका obviously change हुए हैं चीजें, but other than that, all the teams have the same core. So Rizwan, Shan, Khushdil, Dhani, they'll probably be playing, if not all, most of the matches for Multan Sultans. I think David Miller was an interesting pick because if they're gonna play the same way that they did last year, it's probably gonna be Mohammad Rizwan and Shan playing till the 10th over, and then, Riley Russo, David Miller, Tim David, all of them coming and, smashing it out of the park. So if that's their strategy this year as well, I think they did pretty well. I mean, that's a very, very heavily stacked middle order. So yeah, Adil Rashid was an interesting pick. I mean, I still have PTSD from his Wicket Maiden in the final, but yeah, it was a very interesting pick, I think. Um, I don't know. I haven't seen him too much. I haven't seen Adil Rashid play too much in franchise cricket, so I'm not too sure how he fares well in those. But I think he should do well in the PSL because he has played a lot with all these players. I mean, so I am actually curious to see how he goes. उसके अलावा
Yeah.
I think I don't.
Yeah, no, I am not a big fan, but I feel like because Imran Tahir is well past his peak and now they've lost him,
Yeah.
picking up Adil Bhai in supplementary is a pretty lucky or maybe just a very nice
Yeah.
pick. I don't know, Multan, I'm not a big fan of their picks this time. I feel like the not having Tim David in their lineup will hurt them. Maybe more so than not
Yeah.
having Harry Brook in Lahore will hurt Lahore. So
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm excited to see how Khushdil fares and Dahani, just judging by the last match that he played in the Pakistan Cup, is
Yeah.
suddenly refinding like finding his form again. So hopefully he goes well as well. I'm not
Yeah.
again. I said this last year to friends. I'm never really excited by Multan's teams until they start playing and then they're just ridiculously good and everyone is suddenly finding the form of their lives and
Yeah.
it's insane and you're like what's going on. But yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's fine. I think some of the more exciting drafts this time were for Peshawar and for Quetta and Lahore, of course.
Yeah.
And Multan was kind of like on the side there. So
Yeah. One pick that I wasn't too sure about was for Multan was Anwar Ali. I mean he might show up in a couple of games, but I don't know what he can do for Multan because I don't know if they needed him. But I guess
he's their
we'll see.
he's their number 7. He's
Bi-
gonna hit it. So I don't think they're gonna
Yeah.
rely on his bowling much. They just expect him to
Yeah.
come at the end of the innings and then smack it all around and get them
Yeah.
a good total. So it's pretty much
Yeah.
Multan style, really. That's what they expect from their
Yeah.
lower order to kind of take the game away with the bat at the end.
Mm. Yeah, I think
yeah.
like you said, their draft was not very exciting. It was very Multanesque, where they banked on their core, or they also actually no one talks about it, but Multan also makes their team around Mohammad Rizwan actually. Babar Azam ki we were talking about how Peshawar Zalmi did that, but I think Multan does that too, and they do that every year now that I think about it. Because every year they, bank on a very heavily stacked middle order, which gets them to, I don't know, 180 and 200 when Rizwan is playing till the 10th over, Rizwan and Shan. So yeah, I think nothing too distinct about their draft, like you said. I think we can move on. Do you want to do Karachi first or Quetta?
Let's do Quetta. I want to save Karachi for second last and then do Lahore.
Okay, Quetta. I was really happy with their draft. They've struggled in the past two and a half seasons, I'll say, And I really love Naseem. I want to see Naseem thrive. So I'm happy for them. I think their best pick was Hasaranga. What about you, Iman?
Yeah, no, I think they had a really good draft. I think there was one
Yeah,
point, I can't remember now, maybe it was Odin Smith, where I was like, okay, that's fine. But everything else, I was like, this is a bowling attack that I could get behind.
yeah,
Like, and I'm saying this is a Lahore Qalandar fan. Obviously, we have the best bowling
yeah,
attack, no question about it. But if
yeah,
anyone comes number two in PSL this year, I think it's gonna
yeah,
be Quetta. Just because you've got Nawaz Nasranga, who are quite decent with the bat too, as well as they are with the ball. It's
yeah.
Hasaranga, for God's sake. And then you've got Naseem and Hasnan and that young PGL guy whose name I never remember. Is it Emil?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
Emil.
yeah.
Yeah.
Imran Khan.
Yeah, Emil
Yeah,
Khan. Sorry, Emil, if
yeah.
you're watching this, I'm terrible at remembering names, and for some reason your name always eludes me.
No.
But yeah, I think that bowling attack is incredible. And then you've got Will Smith at the top, who big fan, of course.
Oh my.
And then you've got like Ifti as well, and Sarfraz, who I'm assuming will maybe bat 3 or 4. So it's a
Yeah.
really really good lineup. Definitely upgrade from last year, I'd say. But yeah.
Yeah, and even Omar Akmal, who I think hit like an insane amount of runs in one of the matches. I think he got like 70 or 90, I'm not too sure, over like
Hmm.
30 or 37 balls, just like in the Pakistan Cup, I think. So
Yeah, this
he's
was
in
against the
form
Hani,
too.
right?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
He smacked the honey out of the park. So yeah, also one thing that I was like, if I had to nitpick, I think the only pick that I was a little concerned with was Martin Guptill. I don't know what he'll do, but I mean, I think he's past his prime. So if you were going for him in the supplementary pick, there were other names that could have, I would have gone for someone else. But I think considering what they were trying to do with their, I think उन्होंने जेसन रॉय मार्टिन गुप्टिल में से किसी एक को खिलाना है because जेसन रॉय might not be available throughout, I think. So yeah, okay, not a disastrous pick at all even then. uh yeah, I agree with you. I think their bowling is really good, their batting is really good. I'm really excited to see what they do this year. I hope they have a really really brilliant run. I hope Naseem goes well. Yeah, I think we can move on to Karachi.
Great. Okay, so for those who do not know, Karachi is my ex team, right? I used to support Karachi before I shifted to Lahore. And you might think I'm a Lota. I've come to terms with people thinking I'm a Lota. But the point is, when you're watching an ex mess things up, just generally in life, in this case, it's an ex team, that's a lot of fun to watch. And this time, I actually was excited for Karachi. I was like, look, they have decent spaces in their team. Like the pick order suits them as well. They're gonna do amazing. I
Yeah,
mean, they had to fill an entire platinum cohort essentially because they only
yeah,
had Heather in there. And then they go and they pick Wade, and then they wild card Imran Tahir, and I'm like, okay, that's how this is gonna go. So, and that's the tone I had the entire draft for Karachi. Like they picked someone, I was like, great, that's not a good pick, but okay. What about you, Zoha? What did you think? I know you must have enjoyed it.
yeah. I mean, I used to support Karachi, मतलब क्योंकि I love Babar Azam, so अगर वो कहीं पे है, your heart, is always with Babar. So when he left them, I was like, okay, whatever. I don't even have to pretend anymore. So I really don't care about Karachi Kings, other than of course Heather. I love Heather Ali. I always want Heather Ali to do well. So my heart, was a little like I was like, ये क्या हो रहा है? I can't take this. I can't take Heather under Shoaib Malik and Salman Iqbal United under one umbrella, and then Heather is playing there. But then I said, chalo koi nahi, maybe he'll get to at least place every single game at one position, जो कि Peshawar Zalmi में he was, पता नहीं musical chairs खेल रहे थे उसकी position के साथ, so at least he'll get to bat at a fixed point. But other than that, I mean, Matthew Wade, I was a little concerned, but I was like, chalo, theek hai, maybe they need a wicket keeper batter. So chalo, it's fine. But then they got Imran Tahir, and then they got James Vince, who, by the way, Wasim Akram said that they want an explosive opener after Babar's gone, so they got James Vince. And then they got Andrew Ty, and then I mean, I don't know. So like, if I read out their team, it's like Heather Ali, Matthew Wade, Imran Tahir, Imad Wasim, James Vince, James Fuller, who I don't know who he is, I'm sorry, Shoaib Malik, Mohammad Amir, Andrew Ty, Sharjeel Khan, Mir Hamza, Amir Yamin, Tayyib Tahir, Mohammad Iqlaq, Qasim Akram, Irfan Khan Yazi, Tabriz Shamsi, and Mohammad Umar. I think other than their emerging picks and Heather Ali, everyone is like touching 30. So I don't know what was going on over there. I mean, I'm not age shaming, but it is to say that almost everyone is towards their, you know, end of their careers. So
Yeah.
even franchise wise, like, what is the future of this franchise if all of them are nearing retirement
Exactly.
in like max 2-3 years? Where is this going? I have a lot of questions. I don't have, any vested interests in any of these players, honestly. Like, हर franchise में at least एक या दो players हैं जिनमें मेरा personal vested interest है. Other than this, I mean, I want Heather Ali and Qasim Akram to do well, but I don't have any, vested interest in this franchise. So I think, like, I couldn't care less about this franchise,
Yeah.
and they're like, I don't know what's happening there. I'm sorry, but
Yeah,
you
you
can't
know,
be picking Imran Tahir as your, yeah.
the best thing about
Go
this
ahead,
team
go ahead.
before the draft. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. No, I was just saying go on. I was just saying कि I don't have any vested interest in this team, so yeah.
Yeah, the best thing about this team before the draft was their number 3, number 4, number 5, which is
Yeah.
of course Qasim, Heather, Malik. And now for some reason the best thing after the draft is the same thing. They had so much they could do. They had some really great options in the platinum, in the diamond, in the gold list. I do not know
Yeah.
why they did this. I will never understand Karachi Kings. And I don't understand why their selectors are proudly saying that having a high average age somehow means that you're going to win, or that's a good thing. I
Yeah.
really don't
Yeah.
understand that.
I
really
think
don't.
they said it in terms of experience, but if I look at it, other than Matthew Wade, Imran Tahir, and maybe Shoaib Malik, none of their players are that experienced, even if they're aged, above 30 or around 30. Amir hasn't been playing for the national team in like quite a while now. I haven't seen James Vince in the English setup for a while now. I mean, I'm not too sure where this experience. Sharjeel Khan, I haven't seen in the national, circuit for a long
Yeah.
time now. So yeah, I'm not too sure if age really matters here, especially if they're counting it as experience. Because
Yeah.
but yeah, let's see how it goes. I don't know. I don't have, like, looking at the draft, I don't have much expectations from Karachi. I mean, I hope they prove me wrong and surprise everyone just for the sake of some drama and spice to the tournament. But I'm not too sure what's gonna happen there.
Yeah, but I'm
So
fully
we can
expecting 9 out of 10 losses again. Maybe one win. I don't know, against two. Against Islamabad would be hilarious. I hope that one win comes against Islamabad. But no,
Yeah,
no
and then they
team,
can find.
any team that loses to
Yeah,
Karachi is shouldn't be proud of themselves.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, and then they can stop at least blaming Babar for the 9 losses last year. If this happens again this year, then we know that he was in the problem.
Yeah, it is concerning.
Now,
I don't know how involved Imad or their new coach was in these selections. I don't
Yeah.
think the new coach, because he just
Yeah.
came on board. But why didn't Imad?
yeah,
I don't know. What's going on, Karachi? I
Imad
have no
wasn't
idea.
even. I wasn't, like, I'm not too sure if Imad was even involved in giving any opinions, because was he at the draft? I can't like seem to remember if he was sitting there or not.
Honestly, I don't know
Like
because I didn't watch the draft live stream. I was
yeah,
doing my own live
I
stream at the
watched
time
like bits of
and
it, and then
following
I
it
was
on Cricinfo.
I'm not too sure if I saw him. Like I wasn't watching it live either. I was like tuning in and out. So anyway, we can move on to Lahore.
Okay, cool. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Honestly, I was freaking out for most of the draft, especially when we
Yeah.
Talat and I did not expect that, and we didn't have a wicketkeeper
Yeah.
for the longest time. But then at the end,
Yeah.
somehow everything was like sunshine and daisies, and everything is good in the world because
Yeah.
somehow we checked all the boxes and we're fine.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little concerned when, we picked Hussain Talat because I was like, why did we use our wild card on him? And उस वक्त Sikandar Raza was still, he was still available. So I was like, oh no, if someone else picks Sikandar Raza and we used our wild card on Hussain Talat, I'm gonna be so mad. But then, we got Sikandar Raza as well, and then we got towards the end we got Jordan Cox, we got our wicket keeper. So uske baad, eventually when the draft ended and I saw at our lineup, I was like, okay, Hussain Talat wasn't too bad a pick. I think the one thing that I was really concerned about was our wicketkeeper, and I was constantly tweeting. I was like, please wicketkeeper le lo, please wicketkeeper le lo. It was hilarious because Samin Rana, during the draft, he goes like, हमें ना Lahore Qalandars के fans जो हैं वो tweet करे जा रहे हैं कि wicketkeeper ले लो. They think we're not gonna pick a wicketkeeper, but we are gonna pick a wicketkeeper. Don't worry, we haven't forgotten. We don't have one yet. It was so funny. So but it was a really cute moment. I mean it showed कि वो हमारी tweets पढ़ रहे हैं. So like I'm not talking to the void. Apparently someone is listening. Uh, again, one thing that I mean it's so interesting to me that right now Lahore Qalandar has every single kind of bowler there can be. We have a right arm fast, we have a left arm fast, we have a right arm slingy action, we have a left arm with Jalad Khan is a left arm sling action as pointed by Sameem Rana. We have a leg spinner, we have a off spinner, we have a left arm spinner. So we have medium fast we say so like we have everyone. Jo marzi hum pe aap पूछें, we have an answer to every single kind. So like that is very interesting to me, and that shows that this is a bowling captain choosing the team.
Yeah.
Also one thing that was really interesting to me was कि बहुत सारी picks में I think एक मिर्जा ताहिर बेग, एक जलाद खान, and there was I'm not too sure but I think Shahwez Irfan or Jordan Cox में से इन दोनों में से किसी एक में they said that Shaheen was the one who made these picks. Like he scouted Mirza Tahir Beg. He said that I need this guy in my team.
Nice.
He scouted Jalad Khan. He said I need this guy in my team. And I think Jordan Cox also. I'm not too sure, but I think because they said that Jordan Cox reminded. I'm sorry if I'm wrong because I have really bad memory. But it was either Haris Rauf or Shaheen who said that Jordan Cox reminded them of Harry Brook, and they knew that Harry Brook won't be available throughout the season, so they got him. So I'm really glad that Haris, Shaheen, they're picking the team themselves and being like very active. Or that was this picture where all 5 of them are like wearing black, all black attire and the sunglasses, and someone had written Lahore Qalandar's think tank arriving in style. I'm like, yeah, man, we have the coolest think tank. No one can match.
Yeah, no, personality-wise, Lahore gets a 10 out of 10. Always. Even the whole the theatrics of picking the wicketkeeper right at the end, I thought was very on brand. Cricket serious talk, I am concerned about our batting just a little bit, but I am excited. I think they will start with maybe Mirza Tahir in a couple of matches, which I think will be fun. I was not concerned about that number 3 spot. Hopefully we'll also have Brooke for the knockouts, assuming we make them. So that'll be sorted as well. I am so happy with Sikandar Raza. I must say I really was hoping we'd pick him. He's having a magnificent year so far. And I actually am pretty happy about Liam Dawson as well. I think that's a pretty good pick. I
Yeah.
feel like our middle order will be okay. I know that people were very concerned with Haribrook won't be hum kya karenge, but now
Yeah.
with Talat in there, with Visa, with even with Dawson, I think we're quite sorted in that sense. The top
Yeah.
order, because we have Fakhr, I'm fine, but he is coming back from injury. He has had a bit of a drop off in form. But yeah, fingers crossed, Hope for the best. It's Fakhr Zaman.
Yeah.
He'll pull through somehow or the other. But we always have our bowling to bank on,
Yeah.
so.
I I did think that we could have, picked a batter over, either Dilbar Hussain or
Mm-hmm.
Ahmed Daniel, because I don't know, they'll probably not even be starting for us. They'll probably be, a replacement in case we, one
Yeah.
out of, probably David Visa if he's not playing for
Yeah.
a game, or but I don't think we're gonna starting with them. So I think उन दोनों में से किसी एक की जगह we could have picked a batter, but then I do think that there's a lot of LQ nostalgia there, especially with Dilbar Hussain. He's a PDP
Mm-hmm.
pick, so they didn't want to let go of either of them. But I'm not too fussed about it either, but I do think that उधर कुछ किया जा सकता था, because like you said, our batting I'm not too sure about, and even with I think Fakhr and Abdullah are opening, but I'm not too sure about the rest of the order. They might send KG at 3, and KG is doing okay, like um, not anything out of the ordinary. That's how he usually plays in Pakistan Cup, like 50 odd in every other match. So he is doing well, but I don't know if he's gonna be our permanent number 3, or I don't know who's gonna be our permanent number 3, and our middle order again. There are too many names, and to be very honest, I haven't seen any of them play a lot. I only know of Harry Brook. I haven't seen
Yeah.
Jordan Cox play. I haven't seen Shahwez Irfan play. I haven't seen Mirza Tahir Beg play. So again, I'm not too sure about what the batting order is going to be. But then again, our lower middle order is
Yeah.
stacked. We have Skandar Mirza, we have David Visa, we have Liam Dawson, we have who else do we have? We have Hussain Tallat. So that's, and we have Shaheen Shah Afridi, the power hitter every team needs. So I think we should be okay with our lower middle order.
Yeah.
Now that I think about this looks a lot like the Pakistan team ka masla. We have our top order sorted and lower middle order sorted, with like not too sure about our middle order, with like we do have the names but we don't know what to do with them. So that is very Pakistan of you, Lahore Qalandars. But yeah, I think I'm super happy with our draft though. I like that we're bowling
Yeah.
heavy. I have a very obvious bowling bias, and I think now Lahore Qalandars do too. So
Yeah.
I'm
I
glad.
feel like 5 silver picks
Um,
made 3 of them are
Ima-
batters, so them picking 2 bowlers in Ahmed Daniel and Dilbar
yeah,
kind of made sense. I do think that we have covered our bases.
yeah,
I trust Samin Rana and Akib Javed and then the
yeah.
rest of the boys there, that they know what they're doing. Because they did. I mean, on paper, we have everything, so we should be fine. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think overall, if I had to rate, I think Quetta, Lahore had brilliant drafts. Peshawar Zalmi, Islamabad United had, this similar drafts, and I was least impressed with Multan Sultans. And Karachi, Multan Sultans, I'm least impressed with because they did, they were, they didn't
Yeah.
surprise me at all. I'm really glad that Lahore and Quetta did what they did, because now it makes almost every team competitive. Last year बहुत one-sided हो गया था towards the end. So this year I think it makes, at least on paper all of them are equal. Other than Karachi, all of them are, somewhat equal.
Yeah. I feel like Quetta last year also had a bit of bad luck with injuries and unavailability. I remember they
Yeah.
lost quite a few key players and then had to bring in like people like Irfan. Sorry, Mohammad
Yeah.
Irfan, if you're listening to this. But
Yeah.
that's not the best replacement in the world. So hopefully we
Yeah.
have better luck this time. Hopefully all teams have better luck this time. Even Islamabad struggled a lot. But yeah, overall a good draft. I will say I do expect Multan and maybe Islamabad's bowling to be badly exposed at some point. And maybe even Peshawar. It's always risky to go with a batting heavy side. I would rather be us Lahore Qalandars, where you can bank on your
Yeah.
bowling to defend anything really. um, much like the Pakistan bowling attack. But yeah,
Yeah.
happy to be here as a Lahore Qalandar fan.
Yeah, I do hope to see, at least Lahore, Quetta, and Peshawar in the qualifiers. I think Karachi won't make it, and it might be a controversial statement to say, but one of Multan or Islamabad might miss out just because of their bowling, like you said. If either of the
Yeah,
teams get
maybe.
exposed for their bowling, they might not make it to the
Yeah, maybe.
knockoffs. So yeah,
Yeah,
I think regardless, we'll have a very exciting PSL.
yeah. Can't wait, honestly. I need it right now.
Yeah,
End Test cricket. I
yeah.
want PSL.
Yeah, I think this is a good note to end on because now we're happy. We started the episode really sad, but we're ending it on a happy note. Let us know your thoughts on the PSL draft as well, and yeah, we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye, everyone.